Hi, everyone. About a minute on why bad news for offshore wind is probably good news for whales. You have heard, no doubt, about the spate of whale deaths that have been occurring on the U.S. East Coast. Some of the deaths have been North Atlantic right whales, which are critically endangered. Other species of whales have washed ashore. Not clear exactly why these whale deaths are occurring. A lot of NGOs, climate activist groups are saying, oh, no problem. No, these whale deaths couldn't possibly be linked to offshore wind development. Well, we don't know that for sure. But what we do know is that there are several gigawatts, that's thousands of megawatts of offshore wind projects that are planned to be built on the U.S. East Coast, and much of it is right in the middle of North Atlantic right whale habitat. Okay, so why does this matter now? My friend Emmett Penny on Grid Brief, if you're not reading Grid Brief, I suggest you do, gridbrief.com. Emmett reported on recent things happening in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Norway, all having to do with rising costs of offshore wind and the fact that some of these projects are in fact being canceled or are likely to be canceled because of these rising costs. In Connecticut, Emmett reports on what's going on with Avangrid, which is owned by the Spanish company Iberdrola. Most of these offshore projects in U.S. waters are being developed by foreign companies. They're coming to the United States to get tax credits. Not about saving Bambi. It's certainly not about saving whales. They're after the tax credits. Well, so what is Avangrid saying? Here's the key line from the story. Avangrid has cited inflation and high interest rates along with with other causes as the factors necessitating more revenue to ensure financing to build Park City. In other words, the project's gotten more expensive. No surprise there. Commodity prices are going up. Labor prices are going up. Everything in saltwater is expensive. So the idea of building lots of these projects offshore, in my view, is always just foolishness. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts, the state is trying to get federal money, some $250 million, to build high-voltage transmission to bring offshore wind energy ashore. Well, again, no surprise. High-voltage transmission is incredibly expensive, and you do it offshore, it's going to be even more expensive. And then finally, in Norway, Equinor, which is the state-owned company, has just canceled a project called Troll Wind. It was 1,000 megawatts, 1 gigawatt of offshore wind. The company put out a statement saying this decision is based on several challenges facing the project, including technology availability, rising cost, and a strained timetable. So rising costs offshore, no surprise. But the fact that these projects may not be built may in fact be very good news for whales, and also good news for consumers, because if these projects get built, consumers are going to get stuck with the bill. Offshore wind is insanely expensive. I'll stop there. Follow me on Substack, would you? robertbryce.substack.com. Thanks a lot. See ya.